Today, we're gonna build a house in Sims 4, but the challenge is that each room is 2 random colors. So let's start, shall we? Or we freaking shall. And for the challenge, I have 2 spinny wheels with the regular colors in the Sims. And I've also added in dark blue, dark green, light blue, and light green. Just to get some more variation, because that is always fun. And the house for today is this one. It looks kind of weird, looks kind of funky. But in my head, this build right here is 3 different builds that the family who lives here have combined together as one whole build. And the rooms we're going to be spinning for today is an entryway, a kitchen, dining room, living room, a shed. Yes, we have a shed. And on the second floor, we have a hallway, bathroom, primary bedroom, kids' bedroom with their own bathroom, a toddler bedroom with their own bathroom. And on the third floor, we have another hallway, an art room of some sort, and an office of some sort. And we're also going to be spinning for the backyard, the front yard, and the exterior. So without further ado, peeps, let's spin away. And we're going to spin away for the exterior first of all. So 1, 2, 3. Let's spin the first wheel. And we got purple. Okay, let's do the next wheel. Spin me, child. And we have light blue. All right. You know what? That could be good for the exterior. Kind of unsure about the purple, but the light blue, that is good. That is a solid one. So let's put on our blue and purple. And we gotta remember, light blue. And why I'm so unsure about the purple, by the way, is that Sims is not known for their purple colors. So let's see. For the light blue, we can maybe go with the concrete. Good old choice. And then for the purple. Oh, I mean, we have this one, which is borderline pink, but we can take that. And there's a palm tree in the way. All right. And then for the third house, that can also be purple, but in another purple. What about that one? Ooh, I think that could be good. Yeah, and you know what? I went with this one for the blue one. I mean, the lines are kind of annoying, but we will hide that up with something. So don't you worry. What do we want to do now? Maybe we can do some windowing. What do we have? We have a lot of choices. All right. What about the purple windows? See, the selection is not good. But, okay, maybe for this one, we could go with this sort of theme. I think that would be hoot and a half. Put a teeny tiny little window up there. And then for this sort of purple shenanigan, what if we go with that window? Or we could also go with these ones. Or, I feel like those are a little bit too dark. I think that is more the vibe. I mean, nothing is going to look good, I tell you now. But it could be a start. What about the doors? Oh, we have this one. That's kind of cute. I like that. And then for the blue house. What do you want for the blue house? What about something like so? Oh, this one would have been cool, but that is not enough blue. We are not about to cheat here. Or maybe we can go for this one. That's a nice blue color. Oh, what are we going to do about the windows up here, by the way? That has to be some tiny windows. Oh, what about that one? The scary Mary one. That could be kind of fun. I like that. I do. What about the roof? Oh, no. I'm actually really scared about the roofing. Okay, we got some. That's good. Why is there yellow in here? And green and orange. Somebody in the Sims team is colorblind. But alright, what for this roof? So with this shenanigan? Or we don't. Maybe, oh, that is something. Don't know if it's good, but it's something. Very much interesting. But that is at least a start. I even put up some stars in here. And then for this build, if you just pop in some columns, I feel like that would be good. Ooh, and it was good. I like that. The colors match each other so well. I do have to say, I'm just gonna decorate this balcony just real quick before I forget. So we can have, what about this chair over there? It's purple. And then for all the decorations and stuff, what do we have? We have this stuff. Got some selections. So for this color section, we can maybe use that one. That's good. And maybe also throw in some of that. And then for the blue part of the house, to hide up those lines, I'm gonna put in what is this? Window cage. Perfect for us. And then I'm also just gonna plop in some platter patters, also called platter pie. And I have no idea what to do with this wall right here, because it's ugly fugly. But for right now, I'm just gonna hide it up with some vines, because that was apparently purple. And then also throw in a chair over there. Good luck sitting in that. And then also throw in some more cages for the windows. Ooh, and also some awnings. Oh, that would be cute. Do we have some purple awnings? We have this one. Well, that's not good. What other purple do they have? They have that one. Not really what I wanted. Why don't we have that one in purple? And why are you glitching? I chose the wrong one. Why don't we have that in purple? Is that purple? No. Discrimination. Ooh, and by the way, on this balcony right here, you can put up some of this. And then I'm going to use my tool mod to just scooch it a little bit back so it's hanging off the geländer. I like that. That's cool. Brick, frack, palm tree. Get away. And what are we gonna do on this side, by the way? I should have put up some more windows, but I'm afraid. Just in general, but I'm also afraid about the kitchen, because we already have one window there. I feel like that's gonna mess up the kitchen. So what can we do? Right, maybe on the side of the house we can just have some graffiti and some ads and whatnot. And also some vines, because it was in the purple category. Alright, that is not my fault that they put that in the purple section. That's not my fault, and it never will be. But alright, Rob, that was the whole of the exterior. And what happened to my column? Okay. But I do have to say, it's very cute and it has some vibes. Don't know what the vibes is yet, but it's here, it's ready to party. Alright, what are we gonna move on to now? now. Oh, we are gonna move on to the front yard. So let's spin away for that. Oh, and by the way, I'm also not gonna get rid of the colors on the color wheel because we will get so many different combinations that it won't matter. All right, but let's spin away for the front yard. 1, 2, 3, spin away. And we got dark blue. All right, dark blue. What about this one? White. All right, dark blue and white. That's some safe colors. I think we can go a long way with that. A long way. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is put up a white fence that is not too boring, but not too out and about there. So what about this one? I'm just gonna fence it all in. Maybe open it up with some gaps in there. Sure, that was an idea. And maybe since these are townhouses, we should get some pavement in. Wouldn't that be fun? Please say it will, or I'm gonna cry my eyes out. And let's see. Ooh, this is gonna be very white. I see how it is. I wasn't prepared for the whiteness. But alright, what if we just go something like so for now? And then I'm also gonna put up a fence right here because that was one of the fences that I did not take down. Or they have taken it down halfway. But then they gave up. They couldn't be bothered anymore. And also to get some plants in here, I'm gonna remove that part and that part so we can have a nice bushing shenanigan moment over there. And maybe also bushing moment over there. Do we have any bushes? Oh no. Okay, we got some. We got that one of my favorites. And some plants. Okay, but we do not have a standard all green or bush. I see. But we can make do with that. That's okay. And my game froze again. Yay. What did I draw? I am back again and we're gonna put up our plants. And I do also want a tree right there. But the selection, not good. Got that one that is too big. No, way too big. We have a palm tree. We could maybe use that. And then I do also want to frame my plants in with some rocks. And we do have some rocks. Thankfully, we do. So maybe I can use these ones to just frame the whole planting in. I think that will be neat and nice. And I'm gonna do that right now. And you will see me do that right now. And it's gonna be a jolly golly good time. Hopefully, if I find some good plants. And I do think that that's what I did. Put out some plants here and there. It was kind of difficult. Not gonna lie. And yes, some of the plants are light blue, but I will not take that kind of slander right now because it was so difficult. Anyways, let's move on to the other stuff that we're gonna have in our front garden. And what would be fun to have in a front garden is a hopscotching moment. Yes. And then we can also have some chairs over here with maybe an umbrella. There we go. That is dark blue. I will take that. I mean, the hopscotching is not dark blue, but kinda. It's getting there. It's getting there. And then right over here, we can put up some planter potters. And what are they gonna be growing in those planter potters? How about some cacti? Just like so. One big one and one tiny one. And then, we can have a telescope over here. And maybe also a little birdhouse, some signs. And then we can also plop in a bike over there. Ooh, with another bike over here. With one of the children left behind. Yeah. And then for the trash bin and the mailbox. What is dark blue? What about that one over there? And then for the mailbox, we can go with something like so. Okay. Red all time. They have a sign. And that rhymed. And that is a cute old little front yard moment, isn't it? I do think so. And it's also done. And we're moving on to the backyard. And what happened with my columns? Gosh, stop. Anyways, let's spin for the backyard. And let's spin away for the first one. And we got light blue again. Okay, let's spin for the other one. White again. Okay, how exciting. Let's do that. And I feel like that kind of low-key, high-key. I need to stop saying that. I'm so sorry. But you know what? That worked out for us really well. Because now we can use the same fence. And we can also use the same flooring. What a joyous day. Alright, what do we want for this backyard? I think I actually want a pool. I don't often do that in my builds. Today, I want a pool. We can have that right there. Just from side to side. I think that's gonna be lovely. And the pool is already light blue, so we're already halfway there, people. But for this pool, we also do need a pool ladder. And we can also have Bob's classic float lounger. Whoa. And what about a turtle? Sure, why not? And then for this place, I'm also gonna put in some more plants. So we can maybe have a little planting moment over there. And also over there. Sure. And I'm also gonna put up some plants on the sides here. And for those plants, they are in a no-land zone. And what that means is that I'm just gonna put up some very, very basic bushes. And then that's it. Because they are in the no-land zone. They don't belong to anybody. But the plants in the back here, they are gonna be in the color scheme. And I'm gonna do the same shenanigan that I did in the front yard. It's gonna be lovely. And that's what I did. Put up a great old bush. Wow, have you ever seen a bush so nice before? And also with some white plants there because they both had white, so why not? Then also these bushing moments framed in by the rocks over here and over there. And my bushes over here. No trees though because sadly the selection is not good. But back to our good old place over here. What more do we want? I think I for certain want a lounger. We can put up a light blue pillow with a beach towel for some reason. I don't know why, but we can have that. And maybe over here we can have a grill. Pop in this one. And then we could also squeeze in a table over there that is not too big, like that one. That has some blue in it, some pink also, but we shall ignore it. And boom shabalam, that is our white and light blue backyard. All of this glory. And oh my gosh, I so wanted to put up a bushing over here, but we don't have normal old basic bushes in the color section, so I just had to leave it. And my voice, it couldn't handle it anymore. Anyways, we are gonna move inside, and the first room that we're gonna spin for is the kitchen. So let's spin away for that. And since we got the same colors over and over again, I'm gonna do a little shuffle. So shuffle, 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 shuffle. Hopefully it will be a little bit better now. Right, so let's spin for the first one. Ooh, dark green. That's a good color for the kitchen. I like that. Let's spin for the second color. That's gonna be okay, dark green. That's not gonna work for us. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I did not make a rule for this, and I'm gonna make a rule right now. And I am gonna say that we're gonna spin again because that's not fun. And it's all about having fun. 1, 2, 3, spin away. And we got white. Okay, a dark green and white kitchen. That's gonna be a banger. Let's make this kitchen happen. A dark green and white kitchen. This could be lovely, you guys. We do have a chance to make a really good kitchen. I'm kind of excited. So what if we start with this wallpaper? The bees to the wallpaper. Oh, that is nice. And then for the flooring, I do think we need to have a white flooring. Oh, that is white. Let's see how we feel about that one. We're gonna put a pin in it, and while we put a pin in it, we're gonna put up the kitchen counters, and I'm of course gonna use these ones. Hello, hello, hello. Those are so nice. And then for the fridge, what can that be? Maybe that one. Easy choice. And then for the stove, what can we do? Maybe just that one. I mean, I could have them in white, but I want that green kitchen. I want it, and I want it now. And nowhere in my rules did I say that everything had to be 50-50, okay? I never said that once. Maybe we can even have a dishwasher. I don't do that often. That could be cool. And then for the curtains over here, I forgot about that window, but we will manage, and we will manage on with some curtains. Those ones actually. And then you know what's gonna happen now. I'm gonna put up a knitted axe, and I'm gonna find some white and dark green knitted axe to put on my counters. Will we have a counter free? I doubt it. And there were no counters free today. No, no, no. But we got a great old selection over here with some dark green and white stuff. Looking cute, looking lovely. But now on to the next problem. We need something in the middle right here. This is kind of empty. And I think with the counter, that's gonna be too hoity-toity squeezed in there. So I'm gonna put in a culinary caddy. That was in the white section. Even though it has a light brown wooden top, it was still in the white section. And then right over here, we can put in some trash bins with some shenanigans on the wall and some other shenanigans over here. And boom, bam, bam. That was our kitchen. The white flooring is throwing me off, but we need that flooring for the color scheme, so I'm sorry. But I like this kitchen. Nice and joyous. Anyways, we are gonna move on to the dining room. So let's spin away for that. And spin away for the first wheel. And that's gonna be purple. All right, purple, purple, good. And then for the other color, spin away. Are you kidding me? Oh, no, 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 no. Are you kidding me? White again. We've had white 4 times now, even with the shuffling. All right. But anyways, so let's put up some wallpaper and flooring in here. I think for the flooring, you can go with some white wooden flooring. And for the wallpaper, ooh, give me something purple. Maybe you can do the safe choice and go with this one for now. That's a lovely old color. And all right, let's look at them dining tables. And do we have a good purple dining table? I doubt it. We don't. Not for this mood. So I'm gonna go for a white dining table. And then we can throw in some purple chairs. How about that, people? Okay, so we have this one, that one, that one, and this one. All different variants of purple. I mean, that's borderline pink, and I have a problem with that color. Don't ask me why, but I do. That one could maybe work, but this one, that fits exactly with the walls, don't it? So maybe we can do that. And then we can throw in a cow print rug. Purple. Ooh, and in that corner, we can have this cubby situation with a little planting moment. And then I need to find a good old painting to have on the wall. Ooh, oh, that is kind of good. Has some white in it. Maybe some purple. Maybe some purple. And then over here, we can throw in some white elements. And then for the curtains, what are we going to do for the curtains? Are we going to have some purple curtains? Or go the easy route with the white curtains? I think we need the white curtains. We need some white in here. And I'm just gonna plop on these ones on both of the windows and just call that a hoot and a half day on the living room. Any hoozles, let's move over to the hallway right here. And we're gonna spin for that right now. And shuffle, shuffle. Let's spin for the first one. And that's gonna be red. Okay, that could be kind of funky. I'm feeling it. Let's spin for the second color. And that's gonna be black. Oh, okay. All right. Don't panic, Nora. Don't panic. No, no, no. Red and black, if you just separate those two colors, red can be good, black can be good. But if you mix them together, you're gonna get a real scary merry room. And that's kind of bad when you're not trying to make a scary merry room. But don't panic, Nora. Don't panic. We are gonna get through this together as a family. All right, let's see. What do we have for the wallpaper? Oh, we have that one. Maybe that could be kind of nice. Kind of a moody vibe. And then for the flooring, are we gonna go with some red flooring? I don't think so. That's gonna be way too much. I think we're just gonna go with the black wallpaper and flooring, and then we can put in some red furniture. I think that's a lot better because if you put up the red wallpaper, I mean, that's gonna be so scary. Who are living in this house? I don't know. But alright, what do we need? We need an entryway table. So can we find a nice red good old one? Maybe we can have this dresser. I mean, that dresser is not that scary, Mary. It's actually kind of cute. Has some good old grandma vibes. And we need that for this hallway. And then the big question is, do we have some good old clutter items in black and or red? Oh, we do. Okay, we have the bags. That's apparently red. We can put up this one over there. We can have some boots, some jelly wellies. Jelly wellies. I'm sorry for that one. But over here, we can also throw in a coat rack with also a good old picture collage on this wall. Oh, that is a cool one. And then we can also continue the collage up the stairs a little bit too. Just sort of like that. That's kind of cute. And then over here, we can have a chair moment. We have a great old, nice old red chair. That is not awfully red like that one. Ooh, what about this one? That for sure has some vibes. Some vibes that are not scary. Because we do kind of have to limit that today. And then we can also have Bob on the wall for some reason. He has a red robe, so that's good. It's in. And then right over here, what can we have over there? What is something that we don't already have? We have a chair moment, and that moment. We don't have a clothing hanger, so we can maybe put in one of those moments. Boom shamalam. Throw some clothes in there. And a shoe rack. And a heap of plants. Boom. And that was the hallway. Wasn't that something? It's it is a hallway in black and red. I love it. 10 out of 10. Who are these people who live in this house? I mean, my goodness me. I don't know. But we are going to move over to the living room. So let's spin away for that. So shuffle, spin away for the first color. And that's going to be gray. All right, we haven't had a color. Kind of excited, kind of scared. Let's spin for the second color. And that's going to be light green. Okay. That is not a color combination that I would ever think of. Let's do that. right now. So let's put in the flooring first of all, and we can have that one. Easy choice. Now for the wallpaper, we need something light green. And what shall that be? We have this shebangity shaboo, but that is borderline dark green. Ooh, what about this one? That could be kind of fun if you find the right furniture for that. So let's start with the couches first of all. Do we have a good old green couch that matches with the wallpaper? No, absolutely not. No. I mean, in some cases, you can't even call that for green. That's definitely not green. No. That's orange. No. That has some green in it. No. Ooh, what about this one? That's light green. We also have this one, but I don't want that one. And then we can pair that up with this couch over here. Put in a little gray coffee table. And what do we want for the rugs? We have so many rugs. But what's going to fit for this mood? We have this rug and this one. But we also do have that one, which has some gray in it. Ooh, what do I like best? Maybe I want that one. I think that fits in. I like that. A little mid-century modern vibe. Yeah, that's cool. And then over by this side, we're gonna have a TV moment. So first of all, we need to find a good TV table. And do we have a good TV table? I mean, hopefully we do. Ooh, we can maybe put in this one. That is very mid-century. Oh, that fits with the style. Okay, I like that. But what are we gonna do about them windows, by the way? Because they do not fit with the theme. I don't know. Can we put in some sort of backsplash to that? Some gray wallpaper. I mean, yeah. And then we can also put in some columns. And oh, now I know what we're gonna do. We are gonna put in some curtains and just hide up the windows. Easy peasy, just like that. And they can also have a little magazine holder over here, because they need that, this family. But now on to the big questions of life. Who is this family? What are they? I mean, they are humans, but what do they do? Why do they live in this house? We kinda need to figure that out, because my gosh, this house is gonna be weird. I mean, I don't know. But now we need to figure out what we're gonna have over here. What can we have? I mean, since we have 2 activity rooms and 1 shed, I don't think I'm gonna have an activity table or something like that. But I think instead we can have some bookshelves. And do we have some gray old bookshelves that can work for this? Because oh no. Because my big old plan was to use these ones and go sort of like so. But they are not in the gray or green section. So I'm in a conundrum right now. What about these ones? They could work. I mean, they have some black in them. But I think that can work. I'm gonna allow myself that. I am. I'm gonna stack them up just sort of like that. And then on top of the bookshelves, I'm gonna plonk down some of these. Yes. And also put some knickknacks on our bookshelves. And I do actually think now that this family is a very artistic family. The mom can do some painting and the dad, he can do some arts and crafting, and they're 2 pretty weird old souls, I tell ya. And they are very creative, they're very free-minded, and that's why this house looks like this. And the most important part, their cousin is Jamantha, and that should tell you something about these people in this house. So yeah. But now we're gonna move from this room and into the shed. And we're gonna spin away for that right now. Let's spin for the first color. And that's gonna be red. All right. What about the second color? Purple. Okay. Red and purple. That is not two colors that I would mix together, but okay. I am so ready for this. For a good old shed. Let's find some good old flooring. What about that one? That is red. It's for the shed. And then the wallpaper. We need to throw in some purple wallpaper to mix our colors up good. And what can we do for that? What about this wallpaper? Okay. What an awful room this is gonna be. All right. What do we want in the shed? My first thought for the shed, by the way, was to use the woodworking table, but we don't have the woodworking table in these colors. So what are we gonna do now? Put in some workout equipment? I mean, okay. We can have the weight machine and the punching bag. All right, Chiro. And then on the other side, what are we gonna have over there? Maybe a shelving system? Or we can have this one. Have a little planting moment. I just need to find some good old purple or red plants. Just sort of like that. I threw in the most random stuff ever. But there shall go. And then we can also have a broom on the wall. My goodness me. What a beautiful shed. Mwah. And now we are moving on from the shed. And we should be thankful for that. And we are gonna move over to the primary bedroom over here. Shuffle, shuffle. And let's spin away for that. Orange. Okay. What about the next color? Dark green. Oh, orange and dark green. I feel like that could be a good color combo. I am feeling that. All right. So an orange and dark green bedroom. Whoa. Okay. I think that this can be kind of funky if we put all our might in it. And we will with this wallpaper. Oh my gosh. And that was the flooring. What are we gonna do? Maybe we can use some orange wood flooring. Not too bad. Not too bad. I like the vibes. What about the bed? We need a good old bed for this. What can we use? What can we use? Maybe we can use this. Oh, actually, yeah. That is a good idea. We can have some mid-century vibes in there. Oh, I am enjoying this. What about the rug? We have a good old green rug. What about that one? You know what? Oh, I like that. That tied the whole room together. And we've only done the bed section. My gosh. What are we gonna have over here? We need a dresser. That's for sure. But which dresser do we want? We can maybe use that one. Does that fit the vibe and the mood and the theme? I feel like it kind of does. We can also throw a chair in that corner. And maybe have a scraggly old lamp that they have from their art studio. And then over in this corner, it would be good with a mirror. Do we have a good old mirror? We have that one. Maybe a little bit too much. What about this one? I mean, yeah. I have never ever used that mirror before, but today we are. And then let's see what we have over there. We need a movement. We need it now. Do we have some good old shelves or something? We have this one. That's orange. Oh, that fits with this room. Ooh, okay, we're gonna have that shelf. And then I'm gonna put some knickety-knacks on that. Some very artsy, booksy, and all the verbs that are not really verbs on that. And that, my friends, is a good old shelving moment. And that was also a good old primary bedroom, I do have to say. I like it. Okay, moving on. And what are we gonna move on to now? I think that we can move on to this room. That was gonna be the kids' bedroom. Let's spin away for the first color. And that's gonna be pink. All right, again. And then for the second color, that's gonna be white. All right. Ooh, that's gonna be a cute bedroom. Pink and white. Kinda excited. Not gonna lie, I kinda am. And for this pink old bedroom, I have a little bit of a plan, actually, that I came up with right now. And our plan is that this kid is right between the ages of being a kid and being a teen, the tween. So we can have some kid stuff, but also a little bit of the teen stuff. It's right at that age. And I think, first of all, we're gonna pop it all off with some wallpaper, because I haven't done that yet. What do we want? Maybe we can go with this one. And then, we can also combine it with this one. Ooh, I like that. I like that. We're gonna go with that. And for the doors, I'm gonna change them out, actually, because we need some tween doors. And what is a tween door? Maybe we can have that one for the bathroom. And maybe that one right there. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I have decided that the ensuite bathrooms, they're gonna be the same color as the bedrooms, because they're not that exciting, I have to say. But anyways, moving on. And I'm gonna first of all figure out what I'm gonna do with these windows, because they do not fit the theme. And if we have a bunk bed in front of them, that's just gonna be pretty weird. So I'm just gonna block that whole thing off with some curtains, just like that. And then I'm gonna put in my pink old bunk bed and squeeze in a dresser underneath there with some knickety-knacks. And then over in this corner over here, I think we need a desk movement. And we can go for the skrivebord, which is, funnily enough, the Norwegian word for desk. And my brain gets confused every single time I see that. But for the computer, we're gonna get the gaming computer. Yes, this girl has hit the tween age and she's decided to become a gamer. And then above the desk right here, we need a little moment for that too. So I'm gonna put up some shelves with some books and whatnot. And then underneath the shelves, we can have some twinkling stars. And a neon sign, because she's a gamer girl. And come on. That is so stinking cute. I love that. What shall we have in the other corners? And why am I so amped up? I honestly don't know. But we can have a little dollhouse over here. And then for the bathroom. Ooh, we need the pinkest of the pink. And some white flooring. For our good old white and pink vibe. What are we gonna do about the sink? Do we have any good pink sinks? I don't think so. So I'm gonna squeeze in a white one over there. We can have a pink old mirror. Oh, and a pink old cat rug. That also has some yellow in it. But it was in the pink section. And that is so cute. And then we can plop in a white shower over there. With the shower glass. Oh my gosh. And this cute old shower caddy. And then for the toilet. That's gonna be right over there. And we need to squeeze that in. So we have space. That looks about right. Okay. And they are hoarding the toilet paper, by the way. And you can also get this decal on the wall. There you go. And that is one cute old bathroom and one cute old bedroom in the pink and white. Whoa, let's move on. And we're gonna move on to the toddler bedroom. So let's spin away for that. And the first color is gonna be light green. Okay. And then the second color, pink. We have a lot of pink, but light green and pink. That could be something. Not the worst color combo. I'll take that. I'm ready. Let's make this bedroom. Alrighty. So for a light green and pink bedroom, what are we gonna do for this toddler? Oh, what is the wallpaper gonna be? This is kind of hard. Well, not that. No. That's kind of cute. Ooh. What if you use this one? And we can get a little bit of a forest theme. And do we have some light green carpet? No, that does not fit. And we can't use this because that is dark green. What about just pink? This toddler is colorblind, alright? They don't know. And then for the bed, what bed are we gonna use for a toddler? Maybe we can go with this one for today. Kind of like that. But do we have some flair that we can put with it? Like the canopy. It doesn't really fit in, but we needed some flair and we got some flair. And I'm also gonna put up a calendar because I found it and I will use it. The toddler, they love the calendars. And the cats. And right by the bed, we can have a bedside table with a little lamp and an alarm clock. Cute. What more do we need? Maybe we can have a chair over there for the parents to sit in. So they can sit and read and also have a little cup of coffee they need, that the parents. And maybe we can get some toys and whatnot. So we can have this cute old acorn toy chest and paired it up with Bigfoot. Yeah. Why not? Ooh, and you know what else we can have the walls? Some string lights in this 3-branch pattern. Ooh, I love that. And then we need some sort of dresser situation. So I'm gonna put up a clothing hanger or a clothing shenanigan right over there with some more toys and whatnot on the floor. And then over by this corner of the room, what can we have there? We already have the toys and the bed and the clothing situation. So what can we have there? I do wonder that. Ooh, maybe we can make a... Ooh, where did I go? Hold on, there we go. Maybe we can make a cubby situation. So we can have some pink ones, head that up with some green, and just do sort of like so. Could that be cool? Could that be funky? As of now, I do like it. But as of later, I don't know. Hey, I do like the cubbies. They brightened up the room. But then for the ensuite bathroom, we need to get that popping on too. So I'm gonna put in, what am I gonna put in? I'm gonna put in some pink old tiles. And next, I don't know what to do next. Maybe you can pull up in some green stuff, like the green sink, the green mirror, and the green towel. And then for the bath tube, you can pull up in a green one over there. And then for the toilet, we have to remember that this is a bathroom for a toddler, but it would also be weird if a bathroom didn't have a toilet. So we are indeed going to put in both. Je ne. I do think that we je ne all the way today. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But that was a toddler bedroom plus the bathroom, and it is looking pretty swell. Oh, let's move on. And we are gonna move on to this teeny tiny little bathroom over here. And yes, it is teeny tiny because that's all I can fit in. Alright, okay. Shuffling. And I do think that for this spin, we're gonna try to do both of the wheels at the same time. So, spin away! And we got black and yellow. Black and yellow. Okay, that's a scary color combo. Don't know how I feel about that. But alrighty then. Let's go with some yellow flooring and some yellow wallpaper. And then we just do all of the bathroom stuff in black. So we're gonna pop in a sink over there with a black old mirror. And then pop in the shower with the shower glass. And then the toilet, that's gonna be squeezed right in there. We can have a little pop of color of green. It was in the black color section. It's allowed. And then we can even have that on there. I don't know why, but there you go. With also some good old blinds. And boom, shamalam, what a weird old bathroom that was. Let's never do that again. And we're gonna move on to the hallway. And let's hope for some better colors. And 1, 2, 3, spin away. And we got gray and dark blue. Not too bad, not too bad. Better than black and yellow. All right, let's go hallway. So let's pop in our flooring and our wallpaper. And I think for the flooring, we're gonna go with this gray old one. And the wallpaper, gonna be a dark blue. What about that one? Ooh, I like that. That's a good solid color. But I mean, oh me, oh my, this is gonna be a sad old room. Not that I think about it, but all right. Let's start over here. And over here, we can have a table like that one. Just a good old sad old table for a sad old hallway. I mean, dark blue and gray together, they are some sad old colors. I just realized that. But over here, we can have a little bookshelf moment, can't we? And we can't really have a gigantic bookshelf because that's going to be very claustrophobic. So what can we do instead? What about that one? That's not that ginormous. We can have some little creative things on that, like some sculptures and whatnot. That could be fun. And then over here in this corner, ooh, we can have a little sitting moment. I just need to find a good old chair. And I can't find a good old chair. Let's try with this one, actually. I feel like that can work. Not too bad, not too bad. Not too sad either. But, I mean, I've seen happier hallways that I have. But it didn't turn out that bad. The moons are great. And they are indeed here. And now we're gonna move up to the 3rd floor and start decorating this hallway right here. So let's spin away for that. And we got purple and pink. Ooh, good color combo. But will it be a good color combo in The Sims, though? That's a question. Because I'm always nervous about the purple in The Sims. But let's see. So, first of all, what are we gonna do about the flooring and wallpaper? I don't really know. Ooh, that's a nice wallpaper. Maybe we can make this room really ugly. Intentionally ugly. Or no, not ugly. But maybe we can make it a little bit weird. A little bit special. Because this is a creative out and about that family. And do we have some cool sculptures? We have this one. Maybe we can... Oh, what if you put this one in a cage? Don't question me why I thought of that, but then we can finally use this awkward space for something. If we just put up some windows, we could just put that little poor fool in the cage. Because it is, as I always say, if it starts to become ugly, you make it weird so it looks intentional. And that works for everything in life. It does. And then on that little geländer, we can have this man with also a lounging couch. And we can throw in some pictures over there. And then over here, we can have our great tall table of our ceramic pots in this house. Wow! They love them pots and them vases. And then maybe we can throw in a statue in that corner. Because why the golly golly not? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. But that was the beautiful hallway. Shining bright like a diamond, that hallway. With our caged in porthole. Whoa. Let's move on. And we're gonna move on to this office over here. And let's spin away for that. And we got black and orange. Okay, a very Halloween theme. Okay, don't panic, Nora. This is gonna be so ugly. I can feel it. What are we gonna do? Maybe we can start with something like so. Let's start with that. And then, this is gonna be an office. And I think this is gonna be an arts and crafts office. Because that's what the husband did. So we can get in a little desk moment and pop in this table over there with a good old chair. Oh, maybe that's why it's black and orange. Because the husband, he likes the orange color. But he also wanted his office to be a little bit masculine. So with his great old thinking power, he came up with this ugly room. Nobody said that they were good at being creative, but they are creative. Alright, and then in the back here, we can also throw in a pegboard with a rolling cart and some party balloons because, this guy does birthdays too. If you were wondering, now you know. And maybe we can put up this lantern. Why not? I mean, my goodness me, this room is already ugly. Why not? And in here, we can have a little chair corner, which is the reading chair corner with a good old fitness magazine. Yes. And then over here, we can also have another little pegboard with some knickknacks on that. Oh, and maybe we can also have a guitar because this guy does guitar too. If you really didn't know, now you know. And what can we have over here? We could put in some tables and on those tables we can display something. Maybe we can display all his creations. We can display that and also some yarn and whatnot. Just sort about so. Kind of cute, kind of lovely. And then on the other side, what can we have there? We don't have any space to put anything on the ground, but we can put something on the walls. How about a little picture collage moment of something? Oh, we can have this picture. Oh, that is a lovely picture. And we can just pair that up with some other pictures as well. Just sort about like so. And throw in some rugs. Oh, that is some beautiful rugs. And that was one heck of an office. I have to say, it is something. What a guy, what a husband, what a father, and what a room. Oh, all right. Let's move over to the last room of this entire house. And that was going to be a shenanigan room, aka an art room. But we have to see what color we get because that will determine what activity this is going to be. So without further ado, let's spin away. And we got yellow and dark brown. Oh, okay. That could be a vibe and a half. I do like that. I do. Let's see. What do we have? Do we have some easels? Oh, we do have some easels. Oh, okay. So I'm just going to put some up right here. And then we need some wallpaper and flooring. Forgot about that. Well, it's going to be this flooring. And for the yellow wallpaper, we can just go like so. I do like that. I'm here for the vibes today with our wallpaper. And I think we have decided that this is going to be the art room where we do the painting. So let's throw in this one. And then they need something to paint. And what are they going to be painting? Oh, a picture. And this man. You're welcome. And then we can have a sink over there with a present mirror. And we can have a step ladder over there. And also throw in one of these ones. With maybe that one over there. Because we do want this room to have the right amount of mess. So I think that is good. With also some curtains. Oh yeah. And then over by this wall. Oh no, I forgot to change the colors. There we go. I changed them. All right. Over by this wall, we can have a locker. So about right there. And also throw in a cart. Some more mess. Just mess everywhere. The art mess. Ooh, we can even have some pampas grass. And by the way, what are we going to do about the rug situation? Because with the paint and stuff, you need to protect the flooring. And we can't do that. I'm in a pickle right now. What about that? Sure, why not? And then we do not have any paint splatters. That's right. But we can put in some sawdust. Maybe they have been dusting around, you know? You never know. And then, of course, the piece of resistance. We need a lot of paintings on these walls. We can have some over here with some flower paintings. And then we can have... what is this called in English again? In Norwegian, it is a ostesmørbrød. Grilled cheese? Is that it? Or am I making that up? I'm going to put in the wheel, though. There you go. Oh, and then we can also have this one over there. I want that in real life, actually. That seems very practical to have. I want that. Oh, and also a little star on the wall. And that was indeed the artsy room. Where they do the painting, they do the stuff, and a little bit of sawdusting, which is okay for this family. And oh, my. I like this room. And we are done with that room. And we are done with this house. Say goodbye to it, because you will never see it again. Except for now, because now you are going to see it again, because it's time for the house tour. And the house tour is happening now. And for this house tour, I'm going to do a little picture series. So I hope you're ready for that one, because it's going to be a hoot and a half. And I'm also going to talk about what happened in my hallway last Saturday. Not the last Saturday, but the last Saturday. So, if you haven't read the community post, my neighbor bought a fridge that was too big to get into the front door. And it turned into a whole shebackle. Like, every single neighbor on this floor came to help him. And I had to have my door open because my door is right in front of his door. And they needed that to maneuver it inside. And it was just a huge old mess. But, happy news, they did actually manage to get the fridge through the front door. And what they needed to do was to take off all of the packaging. The whole cardboard box and all of the isopor. What is that in English? Polystyrene. Oh, all right. And we still have the isopor all around the hallway, by the way, because it gets everywhere. But they took off everything and they managed to squeeze the fridge through the front door. Barely. It was just a nightmare. But now to the big old thing. Because my noisy neighbor was there. He was one of the people that carried the fridge into the front door. And it was very awkward for me. Because I still don't know if he has seen the I Hate My Neighbor YouTube video or not. I still don't know. But I have a feeling he has. So I really wanted to take a picture of this whole situation because it was so funny. But in the back of my mind, I was just like, what if my noisy neighbor sees me taking a picture of him carrying in the fridge? He's going to think that I'm super creepy. And after posting that video of him too. And I was just too scared to take a picture because it was just so awkward for me. And it was also so awkward for me because every single neighbor could see into my apartment. And my apartment at that time was not clean and pristine. All right, it was very messy. So I was just standing there in my hallway so awkwardly with my neighbor's dog, who was cute. He was drooling a little bit, but he was so cute. So that was fun. But I was just standing there awkwardly because I can't lift up a fridge. Couldn't do any of that. I just kind of stood there, just awkwardly. But the plot thickens with my noisy neighbor because he has a girlfriend. because she was also there and it was obvious that they were a couple. And I didn't really think anything of it because that's kind of normal to have a girlfriend. And I was also kind of thinking in the back of my mind, maybe that's why he's been so quiet, because he's been living at his girlfriend's place. But then yesterday, I looked at his mailbox because his mailbox is right next to mine, and I got a little bit curious. And I've never seen this before, but on his mailbox, there are two names, his name and a female name. And now I have so many questions because I have never seen her before. Never ever. I've not even heard her, seen her, nothing. There have been no signs of that woman. And I have so many questions. Is she in on the shenanigans? Are they doing shifts? Do they both have a passion for hammering? And how are they both living in that teeny tiny studio apartment together? I could never do that. Never. I don't think that's possible. Oh my gosh, what a nightmare. Could you imagine living in a teeny tiny studio apartment with your partner, even though you both love each other very, very much? I don't think that's possible. That's not healthy. Is she in on the shenanigans? Does she live there? I don't know. There's so many questions. But anyways, the neighbor across the hall, the guy with the massive fridge, he's a chill guy. He's a cool guy. It was an eventful day. But I just have so many questions. And I hope we find out the answer soon. They can't be living together in that teeny tiny apartment with all the hammering. Oh my gosh. Anyways, that was the house tour and my rambling. Hope you enjoyed it. And now it's time for the outro. And this is the outro. Welcome, welcome. If for some reason you want to download this house, you can. It is up on my gallery. And my gallery ID is JustNoraGaming. Bam bam. And if you also want to see more of me, you also can. I have a second channel where I do stuff, and I also have my Twitch channel where I also do stuff, but live. And the links will be down below for that. And don't forget to like, subscribe, because it really does help me out. So thank you. But only if you want to. Only if you want to. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.